Hey guys, today I'm going to do the relationship compatibility between Ariana Grande and Pete Davidson. And I see here that they have a lot in common. And although I don't have his time, and if any of you ever find his real time, then send it on to me and I'll redo the video again. But for now, I'm going to work with what we have and what we know. So, first thing I noticed on Pete and Ariana is that they both have these two conjunct. They have Uranus and they have Neptune conjunct in Capricorn, you see? He has it too. Although he's got it 19, 18 degrees, and she's got it 20, 20 degrees, they still have that energy of shocking people with their talent and their creativity. Now, Pete may not be a singer, but Pete has he's got the talent of being a comedian. So, and he's also known to shock people with his comedy. And Ariana has her talent with singing, and she's very impressive with her vocals. So they both have that talent shock thing going on in their chart. So they understand each other when it comes to that. Okay. Now, one thing I saw that was clashing here is that Ariana's moon is in Libra and Pete Davidson's moon is in Capricorn. So it's actually squared because Libra and Capricorn are cardinal signs, and all cardinal signs, they do square themselves. So Pete Davidson's moon is more reserved, like it's kind of hard to know what he's really feeling, you know. And for Ariana Grande, she's kind of like out there, especially with the Jupiter conjunct the moon. Like all her feelings are, you know, pretty big, especially when she's got Cancer here, Cancer sun. She's very sensitive, very moody kind of girl. But for him, he's got this moon here in Capricorn, which is the opposite of Cancer. So this is the only concern so far I see that could break them apart, is that if he stonewalls her, okay? Like if she does something and then it bothers him and he's not going to let her know what it is, and then she tries to pry it out of him, that could be an issue right there. That could break them apart, and I think it's the moon, okay? Now, let's go to Mars. Pete Davidson has Mars in Sagittarius, and Ariana Grande has Mars in Virgo. And these are fixed signs. Sorry, these are mutable signs. So mutable signs, they all square each other. Okay. So his Mars is geared towards freedom, towards having his way wherever he wants. He doesn't like restrictions. Okay. And her Mars is really geared towards stability and consistency, since Virgo is ruled by Earth, okay? So, I don't know, again, I don't know the time that he was born. Maybe the time that he was born makes all the difference in this aspect, but for now, these are pretty much squared, okay? Also, Mars signifies how the person looks like in the chart, and Ariana got her Mars in Virgo. Virgo tends to be short. And any small feature in the body, like small hands, small feet, and she's very tiny. I think she's like 5'5", if I'm correct. Okay, and that's why a lot of people would probably confuse Virgo to be her ascendant. Okay, it's a very confusing subject, you know, when it comes to timing. So people say, no, the time is this, Virgo rising. Some others say Capricorn rising, but so far, a lot of people, you know, that are in the business say it's Capricorn rising. So, but anyways, the fact that Mars is in Virgo and depicts her physically, because Mars is the most physical planet out there. It's red. Red is like the most physical color out there. It rules the Earth chakra, the root chakra, okay? And for him, he's got Mars in Sagittarius. So when I first saw him, I thought he was a Sagittarius, but he has his sun in Scorpio. And it was because of the teeth. Capricorn and Sagittarius have like, I don't know, like very pronounced teeth, all right? And that's something that stood up for me, his teeth and his big smile. So I thought automatically that he was Sagittarius because his physical attributes distribute that. So that's what I thought, but he's actually a Scorpio. So in terms of their drive, they're going to have to come into an agreement in a middle ground, okay, in order for this Mars energy to get along. Now, next thing I noticed is that he's got 6 degrees Mercury in Scorpio, and she's got 27 degrees Mercury in Cancer. So they're both in water signs, which is pretty alleviating because they actually communicate with each other in a way that they understand each other. Like, he has some depth when he communicates, and she communicates very sweetly, very lovingly. And if she's ever moody, then his Scorpio Mercury will understand her in a very deep way. So that's actually a good thing. Another thing that we have to take into consideration is that she also has the Sun 5 degrees in Cancer, and he's got 24 degrees in Scorpio, his Sun. So they're both a water sign in their solar sign, so they pretty much understand each other, their soul purpose. Okay, they understand themselves on a soul level. All right. Now, Ariana Grande has 20 degrees Venus in Taurus, and he's got 9 degrees Venus in Scorpio. So they're kind of opposing each other. Like, her Venus would be right here in his chart. So he's more into depth in the relationship. Like, he enjoys, having someone that he could relate to, have a connection, and she enjoys a lot of sex. Because Taurus is actually the sexual sign. It's not Scorpio. Scorpio is more into the depth of the person, and, Scorpios could be without sex for many, many years, and until they find the right person. But Taurus is more lustful. It's more, needs like a physical connection. Taurus rules the skin and the throat. So the Venus is actually opposite. If they come into agreement and they fulfill each other's needs, then I don't see any issues here. But if someone takes more than what the other one gives, then that's an issue, because oppositions is all about priorities and balance in a chart. Now, of course, take into consideration that I don't know Pete's birthday, his time. So I don't know. God knows if his Venus would fall somewhere else in her chart, like sextile over here. God knows, and then that'll just spike it up even more, and there will be an understanding. We don't know that, so we're gonna work with what we have. Now, their Saturn is very much in close approximation in the same sign. Like, he's got his Saturn 23 degrees Aquarius, and she's got her Saturn 00 degrees in Pisces. So they're not too far apart, and they're both going to experience their Saturn return at the same time. Okay, so if they're ever going to break up, okay, my guess would be that it would happen when she's 27. You'll start seeing like flares in their in their relationship issues, and that's the time when most likely people do break up in relationships. In 27, once Saturn goes all the way around once in their chart, and it's going to happen at the same time for them. So they're going to be experiencing the same thing. Now, in terms of that, this is why I say it's too early to know, because we don't know Pete's time. And it's very important. Let me tell you why. Because if you have the same rising sign as your partner, chances are your relationship is not going to last. Why? Because you guys are going to be going through the same events at the same time. So, for example, if Pete is going through some issues, right, during the same time, he's going to have the same transits going on, because he has the same, rising sign as Ariana. Let's say, for example, and he's having a rough patch because Mars is entering, I don't know, his 8th house, example, and it's also entering her 8th house, guess what? One of them is not going to be able to support the other one because they're both going through the same thing. So a lot of people's relationship ends when they have the same rising sign. Okay, usually is beneficial when you have the rising sign with the same element. Okay, because it goes in trines, so you're able to, you know, work around it. But this is why I say we don't really know, because we don't really know Pete's time. Now, Ariana could be a procrastinator. She's got Jupiter here in Libra, and Jupiter's the blesser, but in astrology, also Jupiter in Libra could, bring procrastination, but it could also bring harmony. Okay, and he's got Jupiter in Scorpio. He's got 1 degree so he's very, very deep person. Like, Jupiter amplifies anywhere he's at in the chart. So it amplifies a physical part of your body. Like for Libra, it's the lumbar system, like your lower back and the kidneys. Okay, that will be like the biggest part in your body, or the most accentuated part in her body, which I don't know, I haven't seen it. But for him, he's got Jupiter in Scorpio, and Scorpio rules the genitals. And we've been hearing how Ariana's always saying, oh, he's got a big genital, because Jupiter's in Scorpio, so it amplifies that part of his body. For me, I got Jupiter in Sagittarius, so my thighs are like big. Literally, like everybody thinks I'm taller than what I really am, but I'm really not that tall. I'm like 5'7", but people believe I'm like 6 feet tall because my thighs are huge. Because I have, Jupiter in Sagittarius, so my legs are longer. Now, Pete also has a North Node in Sagittarius, like Ariana Grande has her North Node in Sagittarius. So they're very good-natured people, and they're going in the same direction. I don't know where Pete's going because I don't know the time in his chart, but we know that Ariana Grande is going. Her path in life is to be big in society, in the fame zone. For him, I really don't know, but he's got it in Sagittarius. Sagittarius are very funny people. Okay, they're like the clowns of the zodiac. So maybe for him, it's to be a very successful comedian. Okay. Their Pluto is both in the same place. It's both in Scorpio. So they both have that intense Pluto in Scorpio. So I really can't say much about it because I don't really know the time either. So I think this is it for his chart. If you guys enjoyed this chart and you would like me to read your chart, put a description below and I'll be happy to read your natal chart. And I could also do a compatibility chart with someone. It doesn't have to be a loved one. It could be someone in your family, or a sister, mother, lover. It doesn't matter. I could do a compatibility chart. So I hope you guys enjoy this and have a great day.
Hey guys, check out my music channel where I write my own music, sing and play piano. Make sure to subscribe.